So on today's show, I was just scrolling through social media and I came across a couple of clips. And, I thought, man, this brother is speaking some truth right here. So I've got two clips. I may not get to both of them. Maybe we do. We'll see how the video goes. And I was kind of debating on which clip should I show them first, because like I said, we may not get to both of them. Maybe I'll save the other one for another day. But in this first clip, this brother is speaking so much truth, man. I just was like, man, I've got to share this. I've got to share this. So with that being said, let's dive in.
So once again, I have to explain to people why I support Donald Trump, as they say, as an African American. Well, let's get this straight. I'm not an African American. I was born in this country. I bled in this country. I grew up in this country. I'm a citizen of this country. So therefore I am an American who happens to be black, who happens to be a conservative. I support Donald Trump for the right reason. First of all, he calls bullshit when he calls bullshit. And he says the word bullshit. He says the word son of a bitch. That tells me how real he is, because he's not playing the game for everybody else. The man will swear right in front of the press corps. I like that.
And I get it. Some people are, well, he's vulgar. Yeah, but he doesn't code switch. That's my whole thing. I get so sick and tired of these Democrats trying to portray something or someone that they really aren't. Like this whole Hakeem Jeffries, the pregnant pauses that he does whenever he's in front of a podium or in front of a camera, and he does this whole, Donald Trump and the MAGA extremist Republicans. They're taking, bro, stop it. Just talk. Because I've seen videos of him just talking like a regular person. That's what I mean. Trump doesn't code switch. He doesn't change things up. He doesn't portray himself to be somebody that he isn't. Trump is just Trump. Whether you like him or you hate him, he's going to be him. 7 days out of the week and twice on Sunday. He's not one of these type of folks that pretends to be black and pretends like they cooking greens in the bathtub. You know what? He ain't one of these folks that gets in front of a podium and starts talking with a southern drawl. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. Trump is just Trump, and I like it. I like it. You're original. You're just you. You're just you.
Like that, because he's not trying to tell you sweet nothings so he can stay in power or get your vote. He's a man that tells you if you like him, and if you don't, you don't, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. I like Donald Trump because he has great ideas. I like Donald Trump because he's not a professional politician. I like Donald Trump because he has business experience. Barack Obama should have never ran this country. Barack Obama should have never, ever been the president of the United States. He was voted in because everybody wanted to make everybody feel good, and they wanted to be part of history. But he wasn't just the first black president. He was the first worst black president in our history. So I like Donald Trump because he's just a simple man, happens to be a billionaire, happens to run a big corporation. That's what you need in this country to be successful. People who know how to run a corporation. Your color should never, ever put you into the seat of the most powerful country in the world. You need to have a resume, and your color should not be that resume.
Facts. That's another thing why I'm sick of the Democrats. It's always about skin color. It's always about race, or it's always or gender, right? It's gotta be a woman, or it's gotta be a black person. Bro, just hire the most qualified person. Hire the best person. That's all that should matter. That's all that should matter. Are you the best or are you not? I don't care if you're black, white, blue, purple, tall, short, fat, skinny, gay, or straight. I don't care. If you're the best person, you should be the person in that seat. It's that simple. But no, not with the Democrats. They've got to be a person of color. They've got to be a woman, or they've got to be a gay or whatever. They've got to be these other things that have nothing to do with your qualifications or how good you are at whatever specific job you're going for. What does your skin color have to do with your skills on a certain job site? Nothing. But according to the Democrat Party, that's everything, because we got to have diversity. Diversity. And it's also interesting that they always talk about diversity because they never want diversity when it comes to diversity of thought. If you disagree with them in any way, shape, or form, then it's the end of the world. Oh my goodness, how dare you say such a thing? You're a racist, you're a bigot, you're this, you're that, you're a phobe, blah, 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 blah. You're a MAGA extremist. Hold on, I thought y'all like diversity though. Bro, I'm so sick of these folks, man.
And that's how Barack Obama got into office. And I'm going to say something for you Democrats. You weren't the only ones that put him in office. White Republicans put him in office too because they wanted to be part of history. I call bullshit on that. He had no qualifications.
Is that true? Is that true? I mean, I can see that being kind of true. You know, hey, first black president, you know what? We'll vote for him. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Obviously, I'm not white, so I can't I can't attest to that. And obviously, I wasn't really into politics back then, so it wasn't something that I was paying attention to. But y'all let me know. Were there a lot of white Republicans who just said, you know what? Yeah, we'll vote for Obama. Obviously, this was before we knew how terrible Obama was and everything. But y'all let me know in the comments. Was that a thing? Talk to me.
He was barely a senator. He was a community organizer before becoming a senator. You tell me where in his resume does that qualify him as being the president of the United States? That's the contrast between Donald Trump and Barack Obama. And when Donald Trump was in office, he had a successful economy. Barack Obama did not. For 8 years, his economy was not successful.
Facts.
It was successful in changing the country. It was successful in bringing about contention between the races in this country.
Yep.
If you want to call that success, I give him a A+.
Oh yeah, he deserves an A++. And you can see the racial divide in this country was on the decline, and it started to tick back up when Barack Obama became president. And there's charts to prove it. There are charts that you can pull up to prove that. I've seen them. That's facts.
But he should have never been the president of this country. So when it comes to supporting Donald Trump, I support him with reasons. Reasons that are based on the man's history. And speaking of his history, he's never had that history where he was considered to be a racist until he became the president of the United States. And Hillary Clinton started telling you people what to believe. And that's
Bingo.
the problem with this country right now.
Bingo.
You people allow Hillary Clinton and others to tell you Donald Trump is one of the worst presidents in our history. Well, in fact, he's one of the best presidents in our history, even for you. Yes, I'm not crazy about the new bill, the big, beautiful bill. Not everything, but there's enough in it where I can support the bill. And maybe down the road, that bill will get amended. But right now, you Democrats, those of you that work in the service industry, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, you should be thankful. Because when you start to cut your nose off in spite of your face to go against your own greater good, then you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Because nowhere in the bill, it says this is only for Republicans. So if you want to know why I support Donald Trump, there you go. Don't ask me that question again. I'm not an African American. I am a black man who happens to be a conservative in the greatest state on God's green earth. TikTok America, have a great day.
Facts. I mean, facts. You know, and there's so much more, right? There's so much more. When people say, well, you're black. How could you support Donald Trump? He's a racist. Prove to me how he's a racist. Show me how he's a racist. Because nobody was saying that until he ran for president and won. Nobody called him a racist when he had the most popular television show on TV, The Apprentice. And everybody knew about that show. Everybody watched it. Even I watched it. I remember watching it. Come on now. Was he such a racist then? What was he a racist when he helped Jennifer Hudson when some members in her family, I believe, Jennifer Hudson, I believe that's her name, when some members in her family were pine boxed? Was he a racist then? Was he a racist when he helped that black man who saved a woman who was ready to pine box herself? Was he a racist when he sent that black man $10,000? Was he a racist then? Was he a racist when he housed a homeless black woman in Trump Towers, in Trump Hotel for years, for totally free, gave her 3 meals a day and made sure she had a fresh bouquet of flowers every single week? Was he a racist then? No. Was he a racist when he helped Jesse Jackson out on his campaign? Was he a racist then? Was he a racist when, you know, and I could just keep on going. Like, it's so ignorant and it's so frustrating to keep hearing this nonsense and this BS, bro. It's just like, come on. Trump is racist? Really? No, I think your party is racist. The Democrat Party is racist because you're the ones that are always talking about race. You're the ones who openly go after, you know, the straight white male. What's wrong with straight white men? As a matter of fact, the person that y'all wanted us all to vote for, ain't she married to a white man? Kamala Harris. Last time I checked, she ain't married to a black man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I don't care about race, but like it's funny that they always criticize the white man, but the person that they wanted us all to vote for is married to a white man. You know, also one of the next leaders of their party, AOC, is she married to a person of color? I don't think so. Ain't she married to a white man too? Oh, man. Goodness gracious. That is hilarious. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. Very interesting. But two, you know, I'm a Christian. And I cannot get behind a party or a candidate that says you're at the wrong rally when someone yells, Christ is King. That's what you want me to vote for. That's what you wanted me to support. That's why you're calling me a sellout and a bootlicker and Uncle T and all of these other names, because I did not vote for that person? Really? But Trump is racist. So that's why I should have just voted for her, even though she said you're at the wrong rally when someone shouted Christ is King. Right. Am I supposed to vote for the party that tells people basically that God messed up and they should just change themselves? You know, no, you're not a guy, you're a chick. And that's the party? I'm supposed to vote for that party. Okay. Because Trump is racist. We ain't even got to where I want to get to yet. Oh, there is more. I'm supposed to vote for a party who values illegal immigrants over American citizens. I'm supposed to vote for the party who, in these Democrat cities, and I'm going to use Chicago as an example, closed down the schools in the black areas of town, only to reopen them when the illegals came in town, renovated them, and allowed the illegals to stay in there. But they didn't have the money for the black residents that are American citizens that they say they care so much about. That's the party I'm supposed to vote for? The party that's literally bankrupting their cities to care for illegals, but they couldn't do that for their own American citizens? That's the party I'm supposed to vote for. I'm an Uncle T because I ain't vote for that party. Because, of course, Trump is racist. I'm supposed to vote for the party that says, you know what? Get the police out of our cities. Get them out. We don't want any police. But then when there's a sign of trouble, y'all turn around and call the police for help. I'm supposed to vote for a party that wants to put my safety and my life at risk to try to tell me that we don't need police? But then at the same time, they want to take my guns. She wants to buy back the weapons. But yet she tells us that she owns one herself and has armed security herself, but she wants to take our weapons, take our police, and just leave us just assed out, just open all over the place, you know, whatever happens. Really? That's the party I'm supposed to vote for? You know, I saw this video from Canada where this officer or captain, I don't know what he was. He was a law enforcement individual. I'm assuming he was, you know, high ranking. But he basically said, and I couldn't believe he said this, bro, but goodness gracious. This is where it seems like Democrats want to go to. He said if someone breaks into your house, leave your keys by the front door because they're typically going into your house for your keys so they can take your car. I couldn't believe it. And bro, I'm not lying. You can look up there. I'm sure you can find it. Matter of fact, I might try to pull it up right now. Bro, I cannot believe what I was hearing. Leave, jeez. Bye. I could not believe what I was hearing.
Advice for all vehicle owners. A message echoed by Toronto police speaking at an Etobicoke safety meeting last month. Constable Marco Ricciardi had a new message for vehicle owners who keep their fobs in Faraday pouches.
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door. Because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else.
For those of you that thought I was just making that up, that I thought I was just pulling that out my behind, no, that wasn't a joke. That's what Democrats want, bro. Just make it easy for the criminals. Just leave your keys just right by the front door. So when they kick your door in, cannot make this stuff up, bro. This is wild. That's the kind of stuff that they wanted me to vote for. And I know that was Canada. I get it. But Canada is super liberal. And obviously this Democrat Party is super liberal. So that's exactly where they wanted to take us. You literally, I mean, look at California. You literally have officials in California telling Californians to not leave anything in their vehicles when they go shop because they're going to get broken into. Instead of just going out and arresting the criminals, flooding the streets with police officers to make sure people's stuff and vehicles are safe. No, just don't leave anything in your car so criminals don't break into it. That's what they wanted people like me to vote for. Because Trump is racist. I'm a bootlicker. I'm a sellout. I'm all these types of names. I'm the C word, right? Because I didn't want to vote for that. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. I'm all these types of names because I didn't want to vote for having the crap taxed out of my income. Right. I'm a horrible person because I want lower taxes. I'm all these types of names. Meanwhile, these same folks voted for Joe Biden, who said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Meanwhile, these same folks voted for Joe Biden, who called black kids roaches. And that's on videotape too. Meanwhile, these same folks voted for Joe Biden, who said Barack Obama was the first clean and articulate mainstream black male. But I'm the sellout. I'm all these types of names. Right. I think I made the best decision ever. And I'm so happy with it because 6 months in, man, things are booming. We only 6 months in and America's already healing. The world is already healing. Everything's already getting better. So I think I made the right decision. I know I made the right decision. And I don't think they could have put anybody on the ticket for Democrats that could have made me vote for a Democrat. Like, I genuinely don't think there's anybody on the Democrat side because the party as a whole is rotten. The party as a whole is rotten, right? You have a few individuals here or there on the Democrat side that, say some decent things. I'm like, okay, you seem a little bit reasonable, still wouldn't vote for you, but you seem a little bit reasonable. But the party behind them is rotten to the core. And not only that, they're a bunch of liars. They literally tried to bury this man Trump for years upon years, and they wanted to call Trump the dictator, Trump the authoritarian. Trump wanted to be the ruler. Meanwhile, they were trying anything and everything so that they could stay in power. So you accuse Trump of exactly what it is that you were attempting to do so that nobody looks at you and they turn and look at Trump. But no, I see through the smoke screen. I have awakened now. I can see through the BS. Now, at one point in time, I didn't, but I see through it now. I see what they're doing. They're doing exactly what I just described. They're doing exactly what they accuse Trump and Republicans of doing. And you can go down the list. Everything that they accuse Republicans of doing, just look at the Democrat Party. Trump's going to be a dictator. No, y'all wanted to be the dictator. So much so that you lied to the American people about Joe Biden's condition to the point where this man had cancer. And you didn't want to inform the American people. You tried to hide his cognitive decline, now, if you even want to call it that. I mean, cognitive fall off a cliff from the American people simply so you could stay in office. We ain't even got to this auto pen scandal yet, but Trump wants to be the dictator, right? And with that, I rest my case, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this. Maybe I'll share the other clip tomorrow or something if y'all want to see it. Let me know in the comments. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.